Hello, everyone. Just before we get into Kaiba and Pegasus, this is what happened. This is why I couldn't post yesterday. Actually, I did post a Pegasus and Kaiba, but it was the wrong audio file. And thanks to Amamiya Casual for spotting it as well, because I didn't. And what actually happened was my gaming laptop has been having some sort of issue with it where I'm losing storage space and I'm not doing anything to the laptop, and I don't know why it's happening. Literally in the last week, I've got 10 extra gigabytes of storage space being used, and I literally have not downloaded a single thing onto the laptop. So, given its performance issues and it playing up, I decided to do a factory reset. So I put everything onto a drive that I needed, factory reset the laptop, which took ages and ages. Then I had to re-download everything. I had to reinstall my Elgato game capture. And then that wanted to play up the first time I was trying to use that. One of the switches have also been playing up a little bit as well. But after all that, I finally got everything re-downloaded, reinstalled, and then went to produce some of the duels, only to come to the horrible realization that I did forget to transfer one file over to my hard drive, and that file was indeed all of my images that I use for production. So all of the character images, but most importantly, all of my season rounds. So, I have had rounds 1 to 15, and we're in round 4. Round 5 to 15, all of those images weren't copied over to my drive, and I have lost them all. So that's why you see these big blocky pictures of all these seasons, and you see some of the games have ticks on them already. They're the ones that have already been played, so I'm going to have to try and concoct some sort of way to continue the tournament, which I will find out. What I think I'll do is I'll list all 16 duelists, and I'll just pick random games from the graph and constitute a round out of that. So it may be a little bit inconsistent, and the pictures might not make a lot of sense, but what we will do is we will still get a season that does have all the duelists playing each other. And now I do have this little standings graph, so something good did come out of this. I don't have to do it on Microsoft Excel anymore. I can just use this little graph here, and we can see who's won and lost and all that, and we can just go from there. So, all right, let's get into Pegasus and Kaiba. Alright, here we go. Maximilian Pegasus and Seto Kaiba. And what we have in this match is Creator vs. Champion. We had a match with them in Duelist Kingdom in the anime, where Pegasus toyed around with Kaiba for most of the match. However, we will see how they go in Legacy of the Duelist with their Duelist Kingdom decks that I have created for them. Alright, we have Pegasus going first. Alright, Pegasus has got Magic Jammer, Jigen Bakudan, Remove Trap, Rioran, and Toon Mermaid. It's not a fantastic starting hand, because Jigen Bakudan's the only monster that he can play. It's only 1,000 defense as well, it's not very strong. Pegasus ends his first turn. Let's see what Kaiba has first up. Kaiba goes with a face down spell or trap, and a face down defense of his own. So Pegasus, to get Rioran onto the field, he would need 2 tributes as well. There's Crass Clown. That also has an effect when it's changed from defense to attack. You can return an enemy monster to the opponent's hand. And Kaiba now with another draw. And he too goes with another face down defense. Possible he does have a Blue Eyes in his hand and he wants to get that summoned to the field. There's Shine Palace. And Pegasus now going for Rioran. Kaiba could have a trap. He could have a trap hole or a shadow spell as well. And, ooh, okay, there you go. Shadow spell is what we see from Kaiba as well. There's really only 2 trap cards that Kaiba could have sprung there. The shadow spell and trap hole. But Pegasus, fortunate for him, did have a remove trap in his hand as well, so Shadow Spell is destroyed. Rioran is free to attack now. And Sagi the Dark Clown. a card that Kaiba likes to use in conjunction with that Crush Card virus as well. But Kaiba now that he's only got... He's gone with another face-down defense. I reckon it's possible he does have a Blue Eyes and he's looking to try and summon that. There's Parrot Dragon. It's not really much help for Pegasus right now, but... Okay, there goes Mystic Horseman. That's part of Kaiba's fusion for Rabid Horseman. So we won't be seeing that in the duel. Kaiba now, you'll have to get a move on though, because... Oh, there's Fissure. And Fissure will knock out Ryuran. But Pegasus has Magic Jammer. And he decides to throw away Parrot Dragon. So Ryuran once again protected from trap cards. Pegasus has done well to keep Ryuran on the field. And Kaiba summons a Judge Man and tributes Grappler in exchange, and Kaiba elects to get them both off the field. So he may have something else in his hand to help him out next turn, but he's elected to get rid of Pegasus's main attack. Oh, clutch draw from Pegasus. He's got Toon Table of Contents. Now, back in the day, Ryuran was actually my favourite card. When I was in art class in like year 5 at school, I made a clay molding of Ryuran's body, and I put the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon heads on top. So Pegasus just used Toon World and used Toon Mermaid. I still have that little clay figure somewhere, but the dragons ended up falling off his head in the kiln room, and it now just looks like a deformed Ryuran. It looked nothing like Ryuran in the end. Even the dragon heads didn't really look that realistic. I mean, I was like 10. But fun times. I called it the Blue Eyes White Ultimate Manga Ryuran or something. I just put their names together. Or Ultimate Manga Ryuran or something I called it. I think it's in storage. It'd be around somewhere. I think it's in one of the storage lockers that we have with some old stuff. Be in a box somewhere. Alright, Pegasus. He did lose Toon World from Dispel, and Pegasus does have Armed Ninja on the field. Without Toon World on the field, that Toon Summon Skull is now pretty much... I mean, if you get relinquished, I guess you could sacrifice Toon Summon Skull in exchange. Kaiba not playing anything on the field. It's possible that he does only have high-level monsters in his hand. Root Kaiser, Blue Eyes, Sword Stalker. There is plenty of those sorts of monsters that Kaiba's hand can clog with. There goes down 2 spell or trap cards. Oh, and there's Rogue Doll. Oh, and Bright Palace as well. Bright Palace is in Pegasus's hand. That can increase Rogue Doll by 700, so that'll become 2300. That's not a bad attacking card for Pegasus right now. And direct attack, Kaiba doesn't flip any of those face downs up. And Kaiba's in a bit of trouble here. He's staring down a 2300 attack, which is quite powerful. And face down defense. And back to Pegasus, who draws Toon Table of Contents again. It's too bad he doesn't have Toon World now. He would have been able to get Toon Summon Skull to the field. The only card there that's going to be any good now is Toon Alligator. He'll be able to set up another defense though with that. He still has Thousand Eyes Idol in his hand. If he draws Relinquished and Polymerization, he can summon Thousand Eyes Restrict, which is a very powerful card in this day. In fact, it's even not a half bad card now, because your opponents can't attack while it's on the field. In fact, no other monsters can attack while it's on the field. Okay, Kaiba summons the Lord of D, and down goes a Flute of Summoning Dragon. So, is it possible? Yes, he has pulled a Blue Eyes White Dragon, special summoned onto the field with the effect of Flute of Summoning Dragon. Now, Flute can do 2 if he has any other dragon monster in his... Oh, 2 Blue Eyes. Kaiba has summoned 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons with Lord of D and Flute of Summoning Dragon, and this duel has suddenly been flipped straight onto its head. Pegasus is now staring down 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. There goes his Rogue Doll, and... oh, and good pick. Arm Ninja is going to get destroyed by Lord of D. And just to make things worse, Kaiba has Crush Card on the field now, so if he gets a Dark Monster under 1,000, he has lost Sagi. He does still have Ryukushin he can play that with, but I don't think he's going to need it. Pegasus hasn't got anything to summon, and it looks like he is going to get absolutely thumped on the next turn. You did see a little Steam icon come up in the bottom there. That would be my friend Cameron, who came online and is playing Sonic Adventures 2. And down goes Thousand Eyes Idol. And Pegasus now is going to be left with 300 life points after this attack from these 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. I know that my audience is around the same age as me. Did any of you play Sonic back on Sega back in the day? Do we have any Sega OGs? And Pegasus goes with Monster Reborn. Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything that he can pull back from the graveyard. I mean, the best monster in it is probably Ryu-Ran, which is a shame because it looks like Pegasus won't be able to do anything. It would have been something if Pegasus pulled a Dragon Capture Jar, destroyed Lord of D, and then all of them went to defense mode, but unfortunately we didn't get that, because that would have been quite something. Imagine if Pegasus had a Dragon Capture Jar. Anyway, we are up for Kaiba's last turn, and this should be it. And it is 800 off Pegasus, and Kaiba picks up the first win in this best of 3. So Pegasus will have to win 2 in a row here. So very, very uphill battle here from him. Let's go from Kaiba's perspective for the second game. From what I've heard on Sega, the original Sonic game was really, really difficult. I've never actually played the original Sonic game that came out on Sega all those years ago, but I've heard that it was very, very tough. Same with a lot of Super Nintendo games. The first level was really, really hard, like that Lion King game being infamous. And it's the same with Super Star Wars as well. I have that on Super Nintendo. And down goes Lesser Dragon. That's Kaiba's first turn. Did anyone play Super Star Wars back on Super Nintendo? It was loosely based on the story of Episode 4. The third level on that, where you enter the Jawa Sandcrawler, holy hell, that level is obnoxiously difficult. And it's the same a lot with a lot of those older games. They actually get easier as they go on. And the reason why they were so difficult, the first couple of levels, had like such an insane difficulty, believe it or not, back in those days, you used to go to arcade and you used to play a lot of those games on arcade, and you used to have to put like dollar coins and stuff in to actually play them. That's why those early levels are so difficult, because when those games went to arcade, they wanted people to spend more money there. So if you make the first levels difficult, you can get people to pay more money. And if they're in an arcade, you're not going to expect them to stay there for too long, so you wanted them to put more of their coins in. You didn't want them to play through the whole game. You wanted them to have hard levels at the start, so they'd put more coins in. And we did see Yurubi destroy Lesser Dragon. We've just seen Ryukushin go down, and we see Kaiba has Crush Card and Blue Eyes White Dragon. And he's just played Fissure to get rid of Yurubi. That means he will be able to attack and take off 2,800 points off Pegasus. Kaiba did lose 600 from Lesser Dragon while I was talking about Star Wars. How many of you in the comments, how many of you are Star Wars fans as well? I'm sure that there is at least 1 or 2 of you. There's quite a lot of us in the world, Star Wars fans, or in the galaxy. Speaking of which, a new episode of The Acolyte should be out today as well. Alright, Ryukyushun is tributed with the effect of Crush card. And Pegasus, wow, doesn't have anything over 1500. Kaiba, though, does get a look at his hand. There is Toon World in there, and a Monster Reborn. For those Star Wars fans, what does everyone think of the Acolyte? I've read all of the stuff online about everyone who doesn't like the show. I've then gone and watched it and compared it with these reviews, and I think the reviews with so much negativity towards the shows are just silly. Like, yeah, the show has slow parts, a little bit of inconsistencies here and there, but so does literally everything in the world is like that. So far, I reckon the Acolyte has actually been a decent series. I've enjoyed watching it. Alright, Kaiba plays Blackland Fire Dragon, and Toon Alligator gets destroyed. Blackland Fire Dragon will attack directly. Like, with Star Wars The Acolyte, it's not the best thing that they've ever produced, but it's not as bad as what these comments online have been making it out to be. I think Star Wars fans, some of them out there, are just looking for anything they can do to throw poop at Kathleen Kennedy because she kind of ruined Star Wars 9. Alright. Crass Clown was played, and now Monster Reborn. And I guess Pegasus has to play these because he needs to protect himself from getting directly attacked again. Oh no, he's gone with Toon World. What's he gone with here? Oh, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. Oh, that's going to be difficult for Kaiba to get rid of. He was one turn away from summoning his own Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh, no. Toons can't attack the turn they're summoned. That's right. Toons cannot attack the turn they're summoned. Oh dear. Kaiba, yeah, he's going to summon his own Blue Eyes, and we're going to have Blue Eyes White Dragon facing Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. But what do you do if you're Kaiba here? If you leave it on the field, you can receive a 3,000 point direct attack. But at the same time, Kaiba has got nothing else in his hand. If he wastes his Blue Eyes and Pegasus draws something else, Kaiba could be in a bit of trouble, and he's elected to keep his Blue Eyes on the field for now. He will receive 3,000 points of damage. But, I mean, he can sustain one attack, but not two. If he gets attacked twice, he'll only go down to 1,400 points, so he's relying heavily on his next draw to produce something. I do understand why Kaiba decided not to attack, because you kind of want your Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field if you haven't got anything else in your hand. Oh, I tell you what. One more Blue Eyes White Dragon and we can see the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but I don't think Kaiba's going to take that risk. He gets them both off the field. If he takes another 3,000 points of damage, he's not going to recover from that. Alright, Pegasus. Oh, he's drawn Toon Table of Contents. And has taken Summon Skull, so if he has anything else in his hand, he can normal summon, and he does, Armed Ninja. He can now tribute that for Toon Summon Skull. And Kaiba, well, Toon Summon Skull won't be able to attack, because Toons can't attack on their first turn. But Kaiba in a lot of trouble. He would need Lord of D again. Has he used Monster Reborn? No. Oh, no good. Castle Walls. And, alright, Pegasus with a face down. And 2,500 points off of Kaiba's total. That leaves him with 1,900. One more attack and it's over for Kaiba. And Dragon Dwelling in the Cave, that won't do it. That can go in defense mode, but Summon Skull's going to attack Kaiba next turn, and Kaiba is going to lose. Unless for some reason Pegasus went for the face down, which I doubt. Again on the Star Wars topic, When episodes 1, 2, and 3 came out, everyone raved about how bad they were compared to the originals, and today everyone loves them. So, I don't know, maybe 20 years from now everyone will suddenly love the Acolyte and talk about how good it is. Maybe they'll do that with Star Wars 9 as well. I doubt it, but... Alright, we're 1-1 now. Pegasus and Kaiba both with one win each, and we will go to a sudden death to determine this season point. Xarion Universe. What have we got here? Relinquished, Yurubi, Dark Hole, Dianketo, and Dark Rabbit. Alright, Dark Rabbit face down, Dianketo to give Pegasus 1,000 points. Winner take all for this match. Kaiba now 6 cards. Face down defense. End phase. Okay, Magic Jammer, that's a useful card as well for Pegasus this early. He goes with Yurubi now. And decides to flip up Dark Rabbit as well. He's going all in here. 1,500. Destroys Ryukishin. And 1,100 points off Kaiba from Dark Rabbit. Alright, Kaiba now plays Fissure. That'll get rid of Dark Rabbit, although Pegasus does have Magic Jammer and he's elected to play it. Is he going to chuck... well, from here you'd have to chuck Relinquished. I know, that's a curious move from Pegasus, but the odds of him drawing his Black Illusion Ritual are 1 in 34, or Sonic Bird also 1 in 34, so he's got a 2 in 34 chance of drawing the card he needs to actually summon Relinquished. Kaiba now gone for a Monster Reborn and brought back Ryukishin. Okay, 2 Tribute. Rude Kaiser now on the field. Okay, a bit of a strange play from both players, but it is the last match, and both of them, they have to do everything they can to try and get the win, and you can't get the win unless you have monsters on the field to attack. So I guess that's why Pegasus threw away Relinquished. Oh, there's Flying Elephant. Flying Elephant destroys Rude Kaiser. And Dark Rabbit will get another attack in here as well. Kaiba, he's down almost, he's down 2950 life points. And there goes Lord of D. Does he have a Flute of Summoning Dragon again? No, straight to the battle phase. He's gone to get rid of Dark Rabbit. That may have been the only monster he could have played, and he's had to play something to keep himself in this match. Kaiba really on the ropes here. It looks like, oh, Toon Table of Contents now for Pegasus. And he will bring forth Toon World. And Kaiba in trouble. There goes another 650 points. He's down to 5,100. He's got a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get back in. And staring down an 1850 attack with that Flying Elephant. Kaiba face down defense. And that's all he can play. So both players almost throwing all their cards straight up. There's Mystical Space Typhoon for Pegasus, so he's got a Dark Hole and a Mystical Space Typhoon, so he does have defense against any sort of comeback that Kaiba might make here as well. Alright, Kaiba plays down 2 spell or traps. Possible that he does only have high-level monsters as well. Oh, dang. There's a Black Illusion Ritual, but Pegasus has already thrown away Relinquished. But at the moment, Pegasus doesn't really need Relinquished. By the look of it, he's going to win this quite comfortably. Another face down from Kaiba. And it's a bit of a lackluster finish, considering the duel that we've had so far has actually been pretty good. Alright, Toon Mermaid is summoned. So remember, that can't attack on its first turn, but it's looking less and less likely that Kaiba is going to be able to get a win here. Oh, there goes Lejin as well. He had to put it in defense mode, and that's a heavy loss of a card to have to sacrifice for defense. It pretty much tells me that Kaiba's got nothing. There's Mesmeric Control. That means that Toon Mermaid won't be able to go to attack mode next turn. There's Polymerization for Pegasus. But yeah, that can't go to attack mode. But Pegasus, well, he's elected to play Mystical Space Typhoon, I think, just for the hell of it. And that was a removed trap that was down, so Kaiba has obviously had nothing to play. 1850 and one more turn, unless Kaiba can draw an absolute ace card. He's going to be done. Goes with another spell or trap. And it looks like we're going to get a bit of a lackluster finish. And exactly 1400 points is going to be taken off Kaiba from Toon Mermaid, I'd say, from this attack. And there we go, Kaiba is beaten. Pegasus picks up the season point, which is a bit of a shock. What did Kaiba have? Oh, okay. Those 2 cards in Kaiba's hand are both Blue Eyes White Dragons. Unfortunately, he couldn't summon them. He had 2 Blue Eyes in his hand. Too late. I don't know what was on the field for Kaiba, but it obviously wasn't anything worth, considering neither one of those spell traps were able to be activated. Well, that's it for me. As I did say earlier, I did accidentally delete my season images, but what I have pulled up here is a big, strange-looking blocky graph where some games have already been ticked off. They're the games that have already been played previously, so I'll do the best I can with the rest of the season. All the games are still going to be played. They're just not going to be played in a particular order anymore until every game is played. I don't know, that's just me not thinking ahead, but I was so preoccupied trying to fix this stupid laptop. That's what happened. So here we see, I'll just go down the column from here. I know the images might be a little bit hard to see just because of the way this tournament bracket thing has been displayed. So we haven't had the Yugi and Joey match yet. I do still have an image on my phone of the Season 4, believe it or not. Luckily, I did have a Season 4, or Round 4, sorry, image which I sent to someone, and is still living in my phone. So Kaiba and Pegasus just played. The next match was going to be the Paradox Brothers and Bakura, so I will play them. Then it's Joey and Taya, and then Bandit Keith and Mokuba, and that would have finished Round 4. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to play them, and then for Round 5 onwards, I am going to attempt to just pick out random games containing all 16 Duelist and Constitute a round. So I am, just doing the best I can with the silly error that I made and got rid of my season cards. But it is what it is. live and learn, but hopefully something good will come out of it and I'll get maybe a better production value at the end of the day. Anyway, for all of those watching, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the comments as well. Stay safe, keep well, farewell.